There's the kicker, Harrison Mevis, out to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good start. 1 play, 10 yards. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Go. Back to Walker on 1st down. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
The Seahawks at 7 and 8 now on the year. Now, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now 2nd and 5. To the air, Penix. Open man, he's got his tight end, Elijah Arroyo.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
You talk about this Bengals defense.
They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You have no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
A play fake. Now Penix.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Out quickly here to Smith-Njigba. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4-4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
That's complete, right around the 8.
And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Here's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Buffalo 18, Viking 18, 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
They'll try and throw. Here's Penix. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On the ground with a rookie from Auburn. And space tough to come by there, so he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. You talk about this Bengals defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. To the right side, this is Walker. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 8. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
Cougar 19, Mustang 19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Here's a diving catch right side. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And Brian Daboll, with his background on offense, he's got a call ready, and they are going to go for it on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Penix. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, 2 good plays on this one, Brandon. The first one at the quarterback because the pressure affected his throw, and I think it forced him to throw away from his designated target. And how about the second bit of pressure downfield? Receiver going up for the pass, helping force that incomplete.
And it'll be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by Riq Woolen. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
They'll go play action here with Penix. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Now Penix. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. And looking to throw, Penix. That's down the field. He's got a roll. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Elijah Arroyo, 31 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A nice nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Back to throw now on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield. He had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Now he's going to step up and run. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got room to roam. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 34 yards. And the Bengals have cut it back within a score. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach. Okay, so he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
How many hands I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We up the plyometric. Ran about the luxury, so up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet. People diabetic. They mouth get full of deceit. Let these cowards tell it. Walking New Orleans with the end of get LA yelling.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Here's Walker to start the drive. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Let's go.
Sticking with Walker on second down. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
60, Panther 60, Panther 6, 79 Broncos. Ready.
They are going for it. Penix. He's got his running back out of the backfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say you punt the football there.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them. And really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Throwing again, Penix. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Here we go. Start.
They're looking to throw. Penix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Penix going to sneak it. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 21, Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
Ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with them down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Going for the right side here, complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Here we go. 18 Cardinal.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try to slow things down a little bit.
Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
46-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 47 yards. And the Bengals are back within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 5.
It's a gain of 5.
Here's Penix. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They'll throw with Penix. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That'll give them 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
2nd and 2. At the Bengals 22-yard line.
Ready.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. 3rd down and 1.
A 2-yard pickup brings up
To the air, Penix. That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I think they're defensively, they were so intent on stopping the run that they kind of got caught out of position. This is just a simple pitch and catch for a first down.
Now quickly here to Smith and Jigba.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it'll be 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
2nd and 9 now. Pass caught, Arroyo right side.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
The coach is always hard on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
It's a gain of a yard. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Toward the pylon, caught.
5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 60 Mavericks, 60 Mavericks.
They'll go for it. Here's Penix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now their defense came through to the goal line stand, got them the ball back. See what they can do about putting a drive together. Long way to go.
They need to reward that defense. A goal line stand, they've got to make that stand up themselves, right? Give the defense a chance to catch their breath on the sidelines. At least get 2 first downs. 3 would be better. Change field position. Let them catch their breath.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. He's got room past the 30. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Back to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a 1st down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 8. Getting left sideline, it's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. And he pulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Bengals go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Second and 10. Now Penix. He comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. They'll go play action here with Penix. And Walker with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. That's down the field. He's got Arroyo. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. To throw again is Penix. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12.
Here we go. Cougar 19.
And looking to throw, Penix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. That's taken in by Arroyo. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And this will wind up being a third and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Operating from the gun, Penix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on first and goal.
Penix going to sneak it. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Penix fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this for Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Bengals 21. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone. For a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, he'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done to.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. They brought the house that time on a young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackled there by Jordan Battle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Ready, set.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready. 18 Cardinal, 8. Ready.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Dragon 60. 70 Lions.
Looking to throw, Penix. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down with a 1st down as they get about 14 out of that one. And we go to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
So with your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Here we go. Start. 70 Timberwolves. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Let's go.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14.
Ready? 70 Rangers. Panther 60. Panther 60. Hey, Trash. Riggs.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This is 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments. And anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. A throw off his back foot there. That's going to wind up incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And that is incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Ready?
4th down, 10 yards to go. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They go play action here on 1st down. A short throw to Musgrave. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 3. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations and you've often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
That's to his running back, complete.
And he is going to be out of bounds, a couple of yards short of the marker, and they will fail to convert here on 4th down.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
Going right side here, and that's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go. 70 Lions. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
A play fake. Now Penix.
That's going to be caught.
And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Mustang 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
To the air, Penix.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release.
He finds Smith-Njigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
2 yards on the touchdown there.
And the Seahawks tack on another score as they have dominated this 4th quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
Okay, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League. But fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah.
Los Angeles. Last stop in town before I hit the road. And it was hot. I said, man, point that fan at me. And I'll be good to go. Wasn't playing songs for long when came in candidly. But the prettiest young thing I ever saw. And she was hot. Oh, nothing short of masterpiece. I said, oh, I need to know. Yeah, is that your man?